You absolutely love to see this from Ivan Demidov and the Montreal Canadiens, as a recent report from RG reveals Ivan Demidov's plan for this offseason and why he's sticking in Montreal and not doing what most other top Russian picks do and going back to Russia. This has major implications on the future of him in Montreal and also the team. We have to break down this amazing report and what it means for Montreal, but also Jesse. There's been a lot of talk when it comes to the draft about Montreal maybe not making the picks at 16 and 17 and trading them either for a player or moving up in the draft. And there was a recent article that has our heads maybe not even spinning a bit, but has that clock ticking, thinking, what if Montreal could do the unthinkable and move up in the draft? How much would that cost? A lot of great stuff coming up on this episode of Habs Digest. And let's start with the draft. Now, there's a lot of stuff we're going to source here. The original article from Marc Dumont that's kind of spurring this conversation is linked down below. Fantastic article. Please go read it. But he kind of says here, Jesse, look, with the 16th and 17th pick, Habs may want to trade one or both for an established player or move up to select a player they identify as a good value pick. The Habs did that with Mikael Granlund. There's a history of us doing it, Jesse. While we are a lot further down in the rebuild now than we were last year, still, I don't think it's impossible. And with the depth of the draft right now, like a lot of centers right here in that top 10, there's a real chance here. We'll dive into like how much that might cost in a second, but just on the notion of the Habs maybe trading up similarly to what we did for Granlund last year, I think some fans are throwing it out because we feel that we're ready to make the playoffs, but I would not count this out at all.
No, for sure. And we're actually like from Craig Button on his list, he has 13 centers in his top 32. And the analytics sometimes show that like pairing some of your picks together to get that higher pick is actually better than the sum of the parts of like those lesser picks that kind of accumulate towards that. So there is some logic there that is definitely going towards the idea of patching your picks together to get something better. That being said, like getting something inside the top 5 or like even the top 10 sometimes can be difficult, but I mean, there is a fair question, right? And we've been asked this on our lives, like, what's the chance of like the Montreal Canadiens kind of like, the chance of them maybe trying to trade to go up. And I kind of shot down the idea, but again, the more that you get within the top 5, if you are able to do it, I mean, you're getting a guy that is potentially NHL ready, like not guaranteed, but a top 5 pick, good chance that he could be ready for your team as soon as next season. So am I saying that for Kent Hughes that this should be the number one plan of how he should go and maybe get that coveted 2C for next year? No, it's a little bit of a risky move. You're not sure if he's ready for a team that kind of needs it right away. It's a lot of pressure to put on. But that being said, like there still is that opportunity, right, to really kind of move up and get that impact player. Because Kent, it's not like a question if we don't have the ammunition to make it happen. It's just obviously Kent doesn't want to overpay. Historically speaking, very hard to get those, top 5 types picks. But we could get a player there that could be very much NHL ready. Very interesting to note in this center-heavy draft.
Absolutely. And again, those picks I just showed right here, this does come from the most recent Athletic mock draft from, I think it was Corey Prom and Scott Wheeler, but that will also be linked down below. You can see picks 3 through 7, all centers in this mock draft, right? And then Porter Martone, who for a long time, even still now, is as high as top 3 for some people in the draft. Some people have him even higher. So it's like, there's so many good talented players. But like you mentioned, now this here is from Dom Lecision back in 2020, showing how many wins the average draft pick is worth. So going to look at this to maybe determine the value of picks is very useful. Again, link down below to that original article. It breaks it down very well. Please go check that out as well. But you can see, Jesse, right there, the first little box on the x-axis, 0 to 30, you can see the first 5 or 6 picks worth incredibly high, and then it slowly starts to level out. But even a move from like 16 into the top 10, Jesse, is going to cost a lot. And when we're talking about overpaying, like if you want to move from 16 up to, let's say, like 8, again, 8 to guarantee one of the players here on this list, you assume Schaefer and Mesar are going 1 and 2, you can get one of these players guaranteed. That's going to cost you probably 16 and 17 and maybe a future first, right? You never even really know. So at that point, like if you think Montreal has a guy that they really want to go after here, I know our goal is to kind of get a 2C that makes a lot of sense right now. Do you think there is any world that like our big trade this offseason is for one of these guys if we deem it available? Because some of these teams have reportedly not shut the door on shopping those picks.
I think this is the summer for an aggressive move. You kind of plan your attack, and then when the time is right, you got to hit the iron when it's hot. And I do believe it's this summer, but this is an interesting debate all the same. Why? The Montreal Canadiens have made exceptional good use of their draft picks. Look at the gold that we've gotten with Hage, with Fowler, with just so many players within this organization right now. We seem to be hitting almost in every single round. Like, it's absolutely nuts. So Ken Hughes, the way he looks at his picks is of extreme importance and value, because he knows how this can benefit an organization for years to come. Like, this is the ideal, right? But it's for now deciding, like, are we still building through the draft, or are we kind of shifting gears? But you see that benefits of getting those players, we can control their contracts for years to come, and how they can benefit and then just kind of reinforce to kind of help establish that winning culture over years to come. That's part of the mission, but we're seeing that shift to a little bit more of a different attacking mentality from Kent Hughes this summer.
I love that. And hey, you know what? Well, first of all, leave your thoughts on moving up in the draft down below. But one of these names, Jesse, that we've done great in the draft, hey, steal of the draft, going to go down as one of the biggest steals I imagine in years with our boy Demidov, because when you're talking about Habs draft picks, there's Demidov, there's Laine, there's a lot of great guys, but I wanted to go into something very recently here from Ivan Demidov, and it's a report out of rg.org that is also linked down below. A lot of links today, but I recommend you guys go check all that out. We got a couple quotes about what he's doing this summer, and boy, you just absolutely love to hear this. And a source close to Ivan Demidov said this: Ivan has already grown fond of Montreal and wants to get to know the city, its culture, and its people better, which is why he chose to spend the summer here. He is spending the whole summer, Jesse, in Montreal. He's not going back to Russia at all. A lot of top Russian picks do. Ivan is not. He's been seen practicing. Of course, he took his vacation down south, I think to Cuba or something like that. Some fans spotted him, and he's posted on Instagram, whatever. But this is huge. Like, this means a lot for the future of the Habs and his attitude. Also, reportedly, he will focus more seriously on stuttering, maybe at the beginning when he's studying not just English, but French as well. And, when you have a top pick, right, you always hope that they embrace the city and culture like this. This is just reinforcing everything that, you hoped to have in Ivan Demidov when you drafted him. You're like, okay, is he going to come over from Russia? Is he really going to commit to the team? Okay, he did that much. Is he going to embrace the city, the pressure? He's already doing that to a level that we didn't expect, doing something that not a lot of Russian prospects do. I am beyond excited for this, Jesse, not just for his future, but for the future of other prospects as well, knowing that even our top guy is embracing the city so early on into his tenure here.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words. I mean, we see so many players, let alone younger guys, right, where they're kind of going to Boca Raton before you can kind of whistle Dizzy and kind of spend the entire summer there. But we see, like, this is a move that we've seen before from, like, Nick Suzuki and Caufield, as a kind of a sign of dedication and respect to Montreal. But I would also say as a sign of leadership, which I think isn't to be understated when we're looking at Ivan's kind of choice here to spend the summer in Montreal. And again, like, this is a dream scenario if you're the Habs organization, like, not just the opportunity to work on the ice with the development staff all summer, which he's really gone towards, and being, like, very specific and honing on to the things that he needs to work on the most right from the beginning, but then getting accustomed off the ice as well in the culture when coming from another continent is equally important for, again, starting the season on time. He's taking English classes. He's not just stopping there. He's taking French classes as well. Just everything to kind of, like, just embrace the city and kind of move forward there. So, I mean, it's really everything that we're seeing with this player, like, whether it's the skill, whether it's the dedication, or, like, the personality that we're finding out more, like, all of this is just getting us just that much more hyped about this player.
And there's one word I want to key in on that you mentioned there, and it's leadership. Because a lot of the time you don't think of a 19-year-old as being a leader for the team. But one thing I've noticed with this Habs squad, like, especially with guys like Hutson and Ivan Demidov, is, like, when you see them, like, you see these videos of them working out. I'm sure the other guys also work out in the summer. Of course they do. But these young guys who are taking that look, they're taking that initiative to embrace the city, to learn English, to learn French in Ivan's case, to go out there and practice every single day. This guy's fresh off being nominated for Rookie of the Year. He was unbelievable in the KHL. When you look at the forward core from Montreal, like, that sets by example. Like, again, even if you have veteran guys, like, a lot of these guys in this team you could classify as leaders in one way or another. But imagine you're a veteran guy, or even a guy like Caufield or Suzuki, and you're seeing these young guys come in, work on their butt off every single day to get better and prove to the city that, yeah, I want to be here. I want to play for you. Again, it's not something you often see with young players, and it's just another reason why the future in Montreal looks so special to me.
Absolutely. And it's like, again, we can't take this for granted. Really having guys like Hutson and Demidov and like in isolation, those are just great to have in your organization. You're going to go ahead. But it's when you now put these guys together, like we've mentioned from Suzuki, Cole, who have all kind of set this precedent. And that's what helps, again, as Nick Suzuki being the leadership. That's what helps for those others to really follow step and to make these same type of commitments. Like, we've seen this in the past with, again, having star players. I know, Josh, you weren't trying to throw shade, but like we've had Russian stars where we've doubted their commitment to the team, which was so frustrating because we knew the talent that they had. We're not trying to live in the past here, but to feel like we have this situation now where the skill is there. We can check that box. But then the dedication on top of it, like just paired with all the good vibes that we already have going on for this team, is what is really getting us truly excited.
I mean, look, and we're just like barely starting the offseason. The playoffs are still going. The draft's still over a month away. And like the hype for next season is so real. Again, like we said this year, I've never been as excited in my life as a Habs fan for the future. And it just keeps intensifying every day. Leave us your thoughts down below on the draft trade talk, Ivan Demidov, even Laine, Hutson, whatever you want to talk about. The future looks incredibly bright. But that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, hey, while you're down there, just check if you've subscribed because it's completely free. And statistically, over half of you still haven't done it. If you made it this far, I think we've earned it at this point. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.